Morning, YouTube, and welcome to day 12, maybe? I don't know.
I've been riding on a daydream.
We did lose track, and at this point I definitely want to apologize because these videos have gone up so late, just because of our Wi-Fi being really poor in the area.
Visiting family.
Yeah, visiting family. I mean, we got some of that stuff. We were under control initially, but the fact that we were actually on some sort of a schedule for visiting family, that was kind of tough. Plus the fact that I used up all my internet as far as my wireless data, that kind of blows because my phone's slowed down because I've gone over my monthly. You know, they don't charge you; they just throttle you. It's still 4G; it's just really slow. I still have a little bit of Verizon, but I don't have enough to continue to upload all the videos. So I'm using that whenever I need to do any kind of maintenance on the channels and that, because even though I'm not putting up videos, I still have to answer comments and of course, whenever we're looking stuff up, I mean, all that. So our plan not to plan worked out great, except whenever it came to visiting friends and relatives. You know, there was times we had to be places, and there was places that we stayed a little bit longer than maybe we would have. When we went to Fort Myers, for example, we stayed 2 days. Now, I was happy for the 2 days because it recharged us. However, I wasn't happy because I drank. And I needed one of those days to recover, sort of, also. So it was great, but then again, it wasn't. And then the next time at Tampa, we went ahead and did 2 days there. I was really happy that we did that because of visiting family, and there was no really downside to that at all. It was really hard.
We're used to, when we go on vacation, we're used to going to one place.
Yeah, we're just used to going one place, setting up, being there the whole week, enjoying everything, and then leaving a certain day and hauling butt home and be done with it. But like I said at the beginning of this whole thing, you know, our plan, not the plan, worked out okay, except whenever we had to make plans for a few days. And then today we're going to make a light plan so we can get back to what we were trying to do initially. And that's just mainly trip and logistics. We would like to continue up the coast and then shoot across maybe the state of Pennsylvania, and that's a little bit longer, obviously. And we got to see where it's going to put us as far as traffic wise, because last thing I want to be is 5 o'clock traffic like in Washington D.C. or something, because we've been there, done that, and that was a joke. And they had an accident in a tunnel, and everybody was rerouting, and it was just horrible. So we got to see where it's going to put us, and we're going to see you know, how long it's going to take, and maybe where our first night, you know, tonight, where it might put us at overall, and where we might be able to just find a location to hang out. So we'll bring you along and let you see what that's all about, but talk to you guys later. For about the last 4 miles, I've been running with my foot to the floor in third gear, 3,000 RPMs, and these are the hills that we've got, and the truck's climbed up to, well, it says over 210, but I don't think that's accurate. And now I'm getting stuck. We got some real slow trucks, which blows. Yeah, that's it's some serious hill here. Just on going up. And this is working this thing hard. This is the hardest it's got to work. I wish I could put it on the rear tank, because I got that more fuel pressure in that tank, but I'm kind of low on fuel there. But yeah, a lot of people, I just got a comment the other day that said, I'm in Oregon, and, you know, you guys don't have hills, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, I'm telling you right now, this is like a 5% grade, and it goes for miles and miles. And again, transmission's up to about 215 degrees. And the RPMs have come down a little bit. My oil pressure's dropped quite a bit, actually. My oil pressure was running 50. Now you can see where it's at. So hopefully that oil ain't breaking down, because the temperature's getting a little bit warm too. But it looks like we finally crested at least this part of the hill. Yeah, amazing. This truck got 174,000 miles on it, and we're pulling 6,000 pounds. So that's it. We made it. Yee-hoo! So guys, you can see that the sun is slowly going down, and our stop for this evening is the West Virginia Tamarack, the best of West Virginia. I don't know if you guys have ever been around this area, but you that have driven through the West Virginia Turnpike have seen the sign plenty of times. So this area here, there's all kinds of arts and crafts inside. It's basically like a big craft show and art show in there, but it's very high quality stuff. I mean, it's much better than you'd find, you know, at a flea market or something. I don't want you to get that idea. The center is very nice. Everybody's really nice. We just had dinner at the grill. The grill was okay. It wasn't bad. We were parked down there amongst all of the trucks like we normally do. But guess what? Ta-da! RV parking. And it's free. And it's all lit up with street lights. And a security guard comes through and patrols this area. How cool is that? So that's where we're at. We're going to be here for this evening. I can see my roof and it's clean. Go figure that one out. All this rain and everything probably helped that out. So Heidi's down here doing whatever Heidi does. What are you doing? She's answering all your questions. That's all she does for the whole trip, is questions and answers. When we have internet, because our internet's been on and off. Yeah, it's a little slow. The site that we got, we wanted to get away from these guys because they were here first, so we pulled down a little bit further. Problem is we're starting downhill, so I went ahead and put the jack up on the tongue, and then went ahead and put down the front stabilizers to help with some of the weight. You're not supposed to really do that, but the amount that I've lifted this tongue, you can see, I mean, there's still tension on the weight distribution bars, so it wasn't a lot, but it is now level. So this is going to be our camping spot. Now, as far as our gas mileage, man, was those hills crazy. And I'll tell you what, you can see a lot of this crap on the truck here. I have no idea, or on the RV, I have no idea what I went through, but you can see it all over the mud flap there, or rock shield.
And you can see it all over my tire here too. Yeah, this thing's filthy though. Look how dirty this is. This was clean when we left. Same here. That was clean when we left. Same with the RV. So we really put this thing through its paces. Look at that. That was all clean when we left. But it's worked out really well. The new toilet we installed has pluses and minuses. I don't like the way that it flushes. It doesn't seem to clean the bowl as good as the old one. And the old one, the bowl is actually a little porous because it was so old. However, the seat height's a little bit higher and it's a little bit thinner, but overall it's relatively comfortable. What do you think?
It's okay. When we flush the tanks is gonna be, we're gonna have to probably end up doing the real.
Yeah, we didn't really flush. We did flushes, but we didn't do flushes like we usually do. So yeah, very, very nice. What a nice end to the day. Now, as far as driving home tomorrow, how much time do we have to get home then?
A little over 4 hours.
Yeah, good. We could have continued to drive tonight, but I thought it'd be nice for us to stop and actually try to enjoy the day here.
We actually got a nice spot though versus down there.
Yeah, I was showing them over the hill down at the truckers. I mean, it's loaded. It's like, you know, any other truck stop, so we don't have to worry about diesel and all that stuff. Quite honestly, I'll go ahead and get the generator out and fire it up. No, I'm not doing that.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work. I could do it though. I could pull it out of the back of the truck, secure it to the back of the truck, turn on the propane, and fire up the air conditioner. But I don't think we need to, do we? I mean, it's not going to be hot tonight. What's the temperature say it's going to be? Yeah, it's going to be 53 tonight, so we don't need the air. We'll go ahead and open the windows and enjoy a diesel fume-free evening. So we're done for today, and pick it up tomorrow. It'll be our last day. Kind of sad. We'll talk to you guys then.
My voice is morning voice because we had the cold air blowing on us all morning. And
we didn't sweat.
Yeah, we did not sweat at all. Got down to the 50s last night, so we stayed really cool, and I should not be wearing shorts right now, I'll tell you that.
It's chilly.
I can't handle this. So we had people moving in and out. You can kind of see there's a motorhome behind us, and we're getting ready to go to the RV dump station, which is nice. Yep, there's a dump station that's close, and we're going to try to clear out the tanks as much as possible, including the freshwater tank, because next stop is home, so we can run empty. That'll be nice, because I've been running this entire trip with a full freshwater tank, except for when we stopped and took showers that first night, and even then we were more than 2/3 full, so it'll be nice to run a little bit lighter. But yeah, we're going to head there, and then I don't know afterwards. I mean,
It depends on how we feel.
yeah, it's time to head home, but we'll stop somewhere and get something to eat, I'm sure.
All right, guys, so we had our first snafu. We went to start the truck this morning, and it just cranked and cranked. And you could tell it wasn't a fuel problem. You hear the fuel pump running and all that happy stuff. But it just wouldn't kick over. It sounded like it was ignition. So I came out here and bypassed this Mallory ignition box that I installed to help with fuel and power and everything else, and it's failed. When you go to crank it, there's just two lights that flash, and then that's it. What happens is those lights should continuously run as the engine runs, but so I had to bypass the 6A box and put just the factory ignition back on there. So let's see if it starts. Yeah, it kind of sucks because that box is set up for power to help with all the additional fuel that I have delivered. So now I just have the factory ignition system running it. Hopefully it'll be okay. You can see I had to bypass it. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Be a little bit less gas mileage, but we only have about 4 hours to drive, and I'm sure it'll be fine. Well, guys, we're back in Ohio. We've been in Ohio for a while now. We're still about 100 miles from home, and I don't know what it is with Ohio. We're always making fun of everybody, all the other states, about them not mowing like their medians and stuff like that, and then we're making fun of their roads. There were some pretty rough roads in spots, but man, I can't believe that Ohio hardly mowed any of their medians. And I know this camera smooths out a lot of the shakes, but man, we are on this is like new concrete that we're on, and it's been like this since we got in Ohio.
Our teeth are chattering.
Yeah, it's just horrible. It's like there's a little ridge or a space every so many feet, and you just shake. You just shake the whole time. But the
landscaping is horrible here.
Yeah, it just...
North Carolina had the best landscaping on their on and off ramps.
Yeah.
They were beautiful.
Yeah. And some of the states, I think that might have been in the Carolinas too, those sunflowers.
Yeah, it was.
Fields of sunflowers, which obviously we didn't get on camera. I don't even know if we took pictures of it. We might have. I doubt it though.
I don't think we did.
So we're doing fine as far as time and everything. I'm going a little bit faster than I normally would. I've been doing 65 to 72 instead of doing 59 to 64. So we're eating up a decent amount of gas, but it's still not too bad. We still got plenty of gas to get home. And the factory ignition system, obviously, it works fine. Never had a problem. I'm not sure why the aftermarket one quit. The only thing that really kills those is heat. And you got to figure that I drove there, and that we drove to the Tamarack there, and we parked over near the trucks, and then we started up and we drove over to the RV parking, and
no problems.
Yeah, there was no issues. I mean, everything was fine. So something just decided to quit. So I'll have to address that at another time. But it's nice because you could install that 6A box two different ways. You could install it with, hard wiring it, or you could get a little harness that makes where you can do jumpers. Well, that's what we did, or that's what I did. So in case something like that happened, I could just disconnect and reconnect the factory one, which I did.
That's the smartest way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we would have still been back there trying to get the replacement part.
Yep, that's the truth.
And you probably should keep it installed, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. We'll have to see what's going on there. But it's cloudy here, and I'm getting tired. I don't know why, just driving, I guess. And we
have like 80 miles to go.
It's kind of coolish outside. I mean, it's like jeans and t-shirt weather, but not...
It's hot in here right now.
Oh, Heidi's got a little jacket on. She's got some sort of leggings on. But we got the vent open on the truck. So, yeah, we're getting there. All right, guys. So we had to stop, and I got cleaned up because it was kind of dirty. I had grease and stuff all over me. And the reason is we are home. We're back to the homestead. And I unloaded the truck, Heidi unloaded the camper, we got it all leveled out, and we're getting ready to go out and grab something to eat because we don't have any groceries here. The kids ate whatever they could, and of course they didn't go grocery shopping. The truck is the filthiest I've ever seen it since I've owned it. The RV is the filthiest that I've ever seen it. Even when we first got it, it wasn't this bad. So we got a lot of work to do. And we got some stuff we want to talk about to close out this video, and it's basically observations. What did we learn? What could we have done differently? All right, guys, so we're back from the trip. We're back at the house. We're getting into the mode of things. I had to mow and string trim the lawn. Everything was great. And I want to cover some points that are points. They're just bullet points. We're not going to go into hardly any detail on them, but these are the observations that we made and the things that we think we could have improved on. And in a later video, probably our next video, that we'll do maybe later today or a couple days from now, we'll go into more detail about the trip, cost, miles, all that stuff. So the first thing that we will cover and give you on as far as details, again, we're not going to go into too much of that, is how many miles did we travel total?
2,922 miles.
Yeah, 2,922. The truck did really good. But on that note, talking about the logistics of it, the truck, the gas mileage, I think that I probably averaged right around 8 or 9 miles to the gallon for the entire trip. I think we need to get better than that, because right now gas at $2.50 a gallon for the most part for premium is excellent. But if we ever get into a war with North Korea or whoever, you know, they're just, all these people are just looking for excuses to raise the price of gasoline. And if gasoline gets back up to around $4, $5 a gallon, that would make this trip completely different. The fact that we had to travel and visit relatives, that we've already mentioned, that our trip would be different because of that. Some of the other things that we noticed, our emails got out of control because we didn't get a chance to get back to them but every 3 days. As far as data, I need a lot more data. I ran out a lot faster than I expected. If I had some sort of a Wi-Fi extender, that might have helped out with a lot of things, but video editing is a challenge while we're on the road. That's why you're seeing videos so late, and I don't like that. I'm not that way. You guys that have been with me for a while know that I like to post them kind of fast. As far as the RV size, we knew it was kind of small, and we knew that we wanted to get into something bigger. That's why we went shopping last winter, and that's still the case. So there's a lot of things that we haven't done to this RV that I plan on doing to our next RV to make it a little bit more boondocking friendly, and one of them is definitely adding a generator mounted to the RV. So when we pull into some place, it's nothing more than turning on the propane, firing up the generator, plugging in the RV, and being done with it. And having that, you know, overnight. Yeah, because our sleep, I mean, you've seen in some of the parts of the videos, you know, it's 90 degrees in the camper. So, again, we'll talk about that, again, in a later video, and we'll cover it a little bit more in detail. Some sort of a laundry basket. We need some sort of a, not really a hamper, but something that can be carried to the washers a little bit easier. And again, when we were camping, I had a real nice rolling cart that we used for that, but it takes up a little bit of room, and I mean, we want something that we can throw inside the camper and stack up. And again, because we're not going to be sticking with this camper, there's something else. When you plan to visit people, no matter if it is YouTube viewers, which we didn't get to meet up with any this time, or relatives, which we met up with a lot of them this time, that means your plan not to plan now has an itinerary that needs to be followed, and it puts you in a different gear, in a different mode. That means you have to be someplace at a certain time. That means you have to either have a place to park your RV in a certain area, or you have to be able to unhook your RV. So that's kind of tough. We'll talk about that. Also, looking at a list here, our stuff that we have for camping reasons isn't for full-time RVing reasons, and we left a lot behind, and we're probably going to need to leave even more. There's stuff that we carried that just didn't make sense for us to have. Our Reflectix that Heidi cut for our windows, I'm going to tell everybody here that if you're considering full-time RVing, I don't care where you're at in the country, cold, hot, whatever,
Not even full-time.
you need to get Reflectix for your windows. It makes the world of difference for sleep, and it makes the world of difference for heat. It is so nice. It made it was so much better And we have even one of those little pillow things that fit up inside the vent to block out the sun coming in through there, even though we have a vent cover. Again, something else that we want to talk about in a later video. So the last thing we want to talk about is as far as the parks that we stayed at, cheaper is better. We would have boondocked more because of the generator for sure. However, there's some of the campgrounds you got to watch what you're paying for. Whenever we stayed at Myrtle Beach KOA, $70 a night. All the amenities that were there. It was raining. We couldn't go to the beach, and a lot of the kids stuff that was there just wasn't for us. Vice versa, or in comparison to Ormond Beach, that was on the beach and it was $80 a night, and that was well worth it. We really enjoyed that. However, if we were full timing, we would definitely do it a little bit different. We'd boondock a little bit more, or find more places like Fort Myers where it was only $15 a night for full hookups with cable. I mean, that was well worth it there. So those are the things that we have as far as quick observations. Again, look for a video that's coming up very shortly. It'll be the next video in the succession of videos here. And we're going to talk about these things in more detail. Plus, we'll talk about the whole trip. But overall, we had a great time.
Yes.
That was a long trip, but easily doable. I mean, it was only, it was less than 3,000 miles, but it was over 14 days. So I can drive that. I can do about 500 to 800 miles a day if needed. But we wouldn't do that if we weren't trying to get to places.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Yeah. So
I mean, we might have 10 places we want to go to, and if it is, we will not try to do 10 of those places on one trip until we get full time.
And even then,
I mean, not that I didn't enjoy myself. It was just it was a lot of work.
We had to plan. I mean, whenever you got to meet people, again, there's itineraries.
You set up your camper for 1 or 2 days.
Yeah, which I've done it so many times. It's not a big deal.
It was 2 days.
Yeah,
almost all the places
except for the KOA
and
that one place I never unhooked.
Right.
I never unhooked there. So that's going to be, again, in the later video. We'll talk about all this in full discussion. We'll give you dollar amounts as far as what we spent exactly. It's a lot less than what we expected. We had an idea in mind, but then whenever we started spending money eating out and that, we thought we went way over, and it wasn't. It was surprising. Made me realize how little we could live on the road for, which was nice.
Especially if you're not eating out.
Eating out or gambling or whatever. Paying kids to house sit and all that stuff. Buying commodes or RV parts, which you got to do when you're full-timing. But all right, that's it, guys. So I'm closing out this video, and as always, we hope to see you out there.
Bye.
Bye.